George's car back in the shop. This episode we're going to talk about engine mounts. This is something that is a must on these cars. It's being talked about back and forth, and you know there's many engine mounts available. I'm not going to go over all the engine mounts, but if you've followed our channel and you've watched what we do, we're a big fan of the Hasport mount kit, and it's for many reasons. We'll talk about that in a minute, but what we're going to do is do this in two parts. Well, there is two ways of doing this. One is to replace just the rear mount and then this torque mount right here, and the rest of the mounts stay stock. You don't change those. We're going to do this two separate ways. We talked to Hasport about it. They said yes, we offer it two different ways, so we basically got both kits. So the first way we're going to do it is to replace the rear mount and this torque mount right here. We're going to see actually how much the engine moves, get some feedback from George. He's going to drive it for a couple of days and basically give us, I don't know, a George score from 1, it's stock, to there's 10.
Different George scores. There's going to be a George score for how the car drives, and a George score for the vibration and whatnot, and then another George score for how the car accelerates with new mounts in it.
First off, we have a little engine right here. Now, what is the reason for that engine? I just felt like drawing a little engine. But these basically our mounts right here. So this would be this engine torques this way. Now, we'll go over that again in a minute. We're going to open the mounts, show you what we have. We're going to show you actually how much the engine moves. We're going to mount a GoPro on the fender, and we're going to film it this way, and we're going to actually see the amount the engine moves under acceleration. All right, so what I'm thinking, we're going to mount the GoPro here so we can look along this line. We should be able to see the engine move, and this is a pretty decent flat surface. So let's go ahead, do some testing. All right, so we have our GoPro set up. This is what the GoPro is seeing. So now we'll be able to see how much this engine flexes. We're going to have a good idea by looking at this in relation to the side of the fender. Willing to bet it moves a ton, especially with the increased power. So I think what we're going to try is do a couple of full throttle runs in the low gears under engine braking, how much the engine moves. Then he's going to try and punch it in first, because he said he's experiencing wheel hop, and it'll be interesting to see how much that moves. There's the engine braking right there, which is basically all the way to the top of the RPMs, using the engine to slow you down, not using the brakes until obviously you have to. So you saw the engine mount, you see that? I don't know if you could see underneath. I could see the header flap in there. That would be interesting to see. I'll put that in slow-mo. See if I can get that again. All right, let's get another run right here. See that? You could actually hear that. That is wheel hop, and is also from the motor moving. The motor is actually doing this as the tires grip and then slip and then grip again, and the engine is moving based on that. So super easy. You're going to take out these all 17s, two 17s right here and the long 17. This couldn't be easier, especially when you're sitting behind your computer at 9:15 at night sipping your Mountain Dew or your coffee or whatever. It couldn't be any easier. Look at that. And it's out. So quick comparison. See the amount of air gap in here. Obviously this is rubber, but this is designed to move, and you see where it'll actually bottom out against that little rubber cushion there. So it's designed to move that much. So it's a smooth ride. The engine doesn't transmit vibration. So there you go. Is there a top and a bottom? Always double check. Doesn't look like it.
So, no.
go ahead and put it in.
That's already kind of at an angle to be on top, so. Well, and plus the flats are larger there than there. So the bolt head is going to sit on that flat.
Okay, yeah, let's pay attention to this. Okay, hold it this way. See that shape right there? That should go in even easier. This is so easy holding the camera, watching you do this. Now, another trick, I said this too late, but what we often do is spray a little bit of WD-40 around the mount as you push it in. Sometimes make your life a little bit easier. It will go in there. It does have a little bit of flex, but just a little tip. A little bit of WD-40, douse everything. It'll slide together a little bit easier. All right, 3 bolts back in. Go ahead and torque those down. Jack up the car or put it on a lift, and let's take a look at the bottom mount. All right, so this is your rear mount right here. You see it's kind of attached to the back of the oil pan. Same deal. This is a 19 right here. This one is a 19 here. 2 bolts. This is going to orientate. It's going to sit right there. All right, let's compare that to the Hasport mount right here. So this should give you a little bit more clearance putting it back in. This one you got to sit and pry and wobble around and tug on it to get it out. But this one should be a little easier. You can see. Always check this just to make sure. That sounds like something cool. Is that a motorcycle? That is an S2000. Alright, so make sure you put the up to the up. Top. Double check. Slide her back in. And then when you get it in, put the bolts in and torque it down. Alright, once your mount is installed, let's go ahead and test it. Alright, so there's many options when it comes to engine mounts. You can look online, search engine mounts. Everyone makes a mount kit. We're choosing Hasport for many reasons. One, it's a brand I've used a long time. They fit, they work, no issues. You're never trying to tweak it and pull it to get the bolt, and everything lines up and the engine is situated exactly right. But the fact their warranties also, they're made in the USA. I feel good about that. But if you damage this mount, send it back, they will either repair it or replace it. Unless you destroy it, unless you start welding on here and you tear up all the aluminum, they'll probably tell you that you did it. But if you keep it in reasonable condition, if for some reason the urethane gets damaged or tore, they'll replace the urethane or the whole entire mount. Alright, same test as before. Put the GoPro in pretty much the same location. We have the torque mount and the lower mount, so we'll do basically the same thing again, up and down the street. So far, how's it feel?
There's really nothing extra as of right now. It's still kind of idling a little bit because it cooled down when we were installing them.
Yeah.
But it'll be down on regular idle here in a couple degrees.
Got it. Okay. So if you want to do the same kind of thing, we'll do it back to back. Yeah. Kind of go down there, do your thing. We'll see what it does. We'll see actually how much that moves, and hopefully the GoPro catches it. See if we can check out that wheel hub. Looking at that video from the front, I couldn't see any wheel hop. Alright, so this is our receipt. Now the top one here, the performance mount kit, that's the entire kit. We did the 62A, which is the softer of the mounts. That replaces all the mounts. Now the second line here is the upper torque mount. This works with your factory mounts. You don't use anything else. Use your factory mounts, install that, and of course you can buy the rear engine mount like we did and replace that, but this works with the stock mount. So this is the test that we did, is upper and lower mount. Alright, so back in the shop, what we'll do is let's put the hood back on, and I'm thinking let's report back in a couple of days, get a couple of days of driving out of it.
Drive it around.
And then you can give us a feedback of what you think from those two mounts. Didn't really feeling the car didn't really feel like it shook too much, but you can report back and let us know. They're usually pretty smooth.
Yeah, these are actually really smooth, just the two.
It is?
Yeah, you don't notice it.
Okay, good.
I mean, when you do a light like takeoff, it's a little, you feel a little more vibration in the car.
Yeah.
You know, you're just flipping the clutch to move.
Yeah.
Like normally, if you're launching.
Well, that's something.
You wouldn't notice it.
Yeah, that's something you would feel under load, but long as it's just cruising and driving. So we'll report back. We'll see you back here in, I don't know, 2-3 days.
Something like that.
So it's up to temperature.
Not yet. Waiting for that to connect.
I mean, the wheel feels, wheel feels smooth. You can't feel anything moving in the car. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Don't feel any difference at all.
Yeah, we're idling at 750, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty smooth. And then another thing you can do is if you do full mounts and you experience a little bit of vibration, plug in your Flash Pro, play with the RPM. Sometimes you up it to 800, 850, 875. You'll find a sweet spot, but I mean, it feels perfectly smooth there. I can't feel anything.
It didn't change that at all.
That is awesome. Good deal. Okay, so hopefully you found that interesting, but there is another part to this. Next episode, we're going to take original mounts out and put the whole Hasport mount kit in. Remember, to do the whole Hasport mount kit, you do not use that torque mount. That torque mount is to work with the factory mount, so don't order the wrong thing. But we're going to do another comparison, change the whole engine mounts, put the Hasport mount kit in. George is going to report back in a couple of days of driving it to get his impression of the mounts. That will be obviously the start of the next episode before we replace the whole mount kit. So that way, hopefully we can answer some of the questions and show you what the mounts do and how much improvement you're going to get from the mounts. So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, click the subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when we do a video. Thanks for watching. I'm John at LHT. That's George's Mugen Civic SI.